So this is the report of the Deputy Commissioner of Chittagong Hill Tract. In spite of correct attitude of Pakistan central government, there have been fairly reliable reports that their local officials in, for instance, Cox's Bazar, have actively helped the Muslim guerrillas. You yourselves are well aware of the pro-guerrilla attitude in this affair of Pakistan district officers. The Pakistan government must also be aware of it. And we feel that if they do not curb these officials, they may run the risk of provoking anti-Muslim riots in Akab district as bad as those which occurred during the war. This is the confidential letter of the British High Commissioner in Rawalpindi in Pakistan to the Commonwealth Relations Office. According to the British archival law, after 30 years, they were in the archives. Last year, I copied these sources. These sources. The Pakistan government is anxious that these Arakanese Muslims should be goaded into leaving Burma and taking refuge in East Pakistan, which cannot support them. Mr. Bhutto, that's Mr. Ali Bhutto, who was executed, and his daughter became Prime Minister later, and she was also executed. Mr. Ali Bhutto was the foreign minister in those days, and he came to Burma, Myanmar, and talked with the Burmese government. Bhutto therefore urged the Burmese to modify their attitude towards these people and offered the maximum cooperation in dealing with any genuine illegal immigrants. Here also it was written illegal immigrants. This report was not written by a Burmese officer. It was a report of the British High Commissioner in Pakistan. Then Bangladesh gained independence in 1971. So Bangladeshi ambassador Mr. Ali Kaiser in Yangon, what is now Yangon, admitted that there were upwards of 500,000 Bengali trespassers in Arakan, whom the Burmese had some right to eject. He had implored the Burmese authorities not to address this issue during Bangladesh's present troubles, and had been pleased that Burmese had not taken advantage of his country's misfortune. Misfortune means the father of Bangladesh was assassinated in, I think, in 1975. So Mr. Kaiser admitted there were 500,000 illegal immigrants in 1975. So the illegal immigration was going on and on. Now we don't have any statistic to discuss about that matter. Okay. Now, Mujahids surrendered in 1960. But in 1970, again, some new generations, people of new generation, educated, like Mr. Nuri Islam, who is living in London. He was my friend. my classmate at Rangoon University. He formed ARNO, Arakan Rohingya National Organization. His headquarters was in Cox's Bazar. And Mr. Yunus, or Dr. Yunus, who was a medical doctor, he also formed RSO, Rohingya Solidarity Organization. A friend of mine from Australia asked a question about his book. He also wrote a history book. So, in Bangladesh, you know that there are Awami League and the BNP, Bangladesh National Party. BNP is closely related with Houthi, Hikarat Islamic. The Muslim extremists who have clearly contacts with the terrorist movement in the Middle East. Both RSO and ARNO were raising funds for the jihad, holy war in Arakan, in Middle East. This is, I don't read Arabic, but I know someone who can read Arabic here who wants to challenge me for a debate. He can read this Al-Tat pen. There are pamphlets distributed in Dubai and Saudi Arabia for the fund to fight in Arakan, to fight a holy war in Arakan. Can you go to the former? Here, this is the newspaper card. That's the advertisement written in Urdu, and it's written. I can't read Urdu either, but I asked somebody to read for me, and he said that's about the tragedy of the Muslim people in Arakan, and just for the revolution and or holy war, and they can send donation. They can deposit money in bank so and so bank account. This I cycle here. This is the bank account number. A bank in Chittagong and another bank in Dhaka. I have the English version. If you want to donate to these people, I can give you their bank account. This is also what they are propagating. Okay. Actually, this is not mine. But Dr. Inwe, who was also a speaker together with me in the forum in Rangoon when Professor Jack Leiter was giving speech at Illinois. This is the population of the Buddhism. Yes, Mount. The red is a Muslim, Bengali, and the blue, only 4% Rakhine, and the hill tribes and other, only 2%. Another one, please. This is Buddhism. Rakhine population in Buddhism is a little bit larger, but Muslims here, as you see, 84%, Rakhine 9%, and hill tribes and others 7%. So most of the newspaper in Bangladesh and Pakistan and Muslim war denounce Burmese government for the religious persecution on the minority Muslim. Here you can see who are majority and who are minority. It is very sure. This is Palto. In Palto, Rakhine are majority. Bengali are minority, only 15.89%. So in that area, last year June, there was some bloodshed and some killings. Some Muslims were killed. Also Buddhists were also killed. Arakans were also killed. Okay. This is Yambie. Yambie is the Rakhine are majority. And Muslim. These people, we have to categorize the Muslims of the Yambie Island. The people who call themselves Kaman were the descendants of the Muslim inhabitants in the Mrao period. What these two learned men had already explained to you. And this command, they don't want themselves to be called Bengali or Rohingya. Okay, I will tell you the derivation of the Rohingya. Actually, there was no such an ethnic identity in history. In 1951, Mr. Abdul Ghaffar from Budidon constituency, he wrote an article. The title was Suditan Muslims. He began to use that, and he wrote that those Muslims were not Bengali. They were the descendants of the Arab sailors who decided to live in Arakan after the shipwreck. So I cannot read Arabic, but Arabic sources were translated into English. So I looked for the Arabic sources about Arakan, how the Arab knew about Arakan. Only two navigators, Ibn Majid and Suleiman, left short notes on Arakan. That they call Rahang. Rahang that's the Arabic corruption of Rakhine. It's very clear. And here, this is what Professor Van Galden mentioned, the Bengali poets in Japan, Allah's poem. You know, the people, the foreigners living in Arakan in the Mrao period. Okay, let's read. Thus we see people from every country hearing the magnificence of Roshan. Roshan is Arakan. It's a Bengali corruption of Arakan. Will you go to the first former page, please? This is the poem of Dula Khazi in his book Saki Mena. To the east of River Kanafuli, there is a place, Roshan City by name, like the heaven. There rules the glorious king of Magadha descent and follower of the Buddha. So already two professors explain you about the about that matter, whether there were some Muslim rulers in the kingdom of Arakan. So here it's very sure. It was the poem of a Bengali a Muslim. And Professor Jack Leiter has already written an article. You can read it in on the internet now. I think Buddhist kings with organist kings with Buddhist Buddhist kings with Muslims name, Muslim titles. So please, you can read. It's very sure. You know, Rohingyas. There was no ethnic city, such ethnic city in Arakan in the whole day. It is an open challenge from a time. I tell it to everybody. If somebody wants to argue with me, I'm ready. But I must see his level, intelligent level, and academic background. Okay, please go ahead. This is the people living in Mralu, you know. Thus we see people from every country hearing the magnificence of Roshan, Rakhine, took shelter under the king, Arabian Egyptian Michiri, Turkish Shami, Hapsi, I don't know, maybe African, Hindi Kamapuri, that's from the Assamese, Dakhini, maybe from the Hindu from Dakhan, Ahopai Kotanchari, we can identify that. Kalani, I don't know that also too. Malaya, some Malays were there. Malay from Aceh, Kuchi, Cochin, Kamatana, okay. God bless Sheikh. I don't have time to read all these, you know. So from also Rajaput and the Hindus, Ava, this is Burmese, serving in the service of the Arakanese kings, and Siam. Even the Thai people were living in Arakan, Tripura, Kuki, the Chins, said so. You know, also the people from the countries of these two scholars, the French and Dutch, were also living in Mralu. So where can you find Rohingya in this source material? It is written by Alao, very famous Bengali poet. Okay. Now I'm going to conclude. This is map of the northern Arakan. It's Cox's. I did field work in this area. The Cox's Bazar was actually given by the British colonialists. There was no Bengali name. The original name of Cox's Bazar is, you all know that, Falanche. What does it mean? Arakanese people call the Europeans Falang. Arakanese king granted the lands to the Portuguese in that area. That's why Czech is French and Falang means European. Okay? And on the border, on the Nath River, on the west bank of the Nath River, there were many Arakanese villages. Even, I don't know, the name of the town name Ukiah was Bengali. I'm not sure that. I know some Bengali. And for example, Daknaf. Daknaf was Kayu's town. Kayu town is, you all know, Kayu is oyster. Chang is river. the river where the oyster were fished. And then the many, I've already forgotten the many towns in Arakan's name. And what about the other sides of the North River in this area? What they claim as Muslim area. All the village names of the villages are purely Rakhine name and Burmese name. Okay, I'll give you what I remember from the Mayo River, from the upper reaches of the Mayo River down to the mouth of the river. Jimazi, Nyamazi, okay, Atajiangdao, no, Thainora, Thainoya, Zedidao, okay, please, okay, it's better to get, to cooperate. And how about Nerago, and if we are coming down, Puendai, then Thing Dao, Ranyo Dao, Nyang Chao, Tonyo Lee, or can you stay? Only one village on the east bank of the Mayo River. It appeared after the independence. So the Muslim name, Washila. I know only that village. So it is purely inhabited by the Arakan or Rakhine people, and later it was the Rakhine were ousted by the illegal Bengali immigrants. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The first question is population change in Rakhine State and Chittagong area in the last 60 years. Last 60 years mean from 1950 or so. So I am sure, I have to admit that I have no statistics about the Chittagong district population. But there was an increase of the Bengali after the independence, and first census was taken in 1973, I think. That time, these people were illegal immigrants from Bengali. They were categorized as Bangladeshi. Yes, Bangladeshi. And we don't know how the source material also mentioned that there were 500,000 Bengali immigrants from illegal immigrants in that area. About another question is Dr. Yunus Muslim's version of Arakanese history. Dr. Yunus is actually a medical doctor. I also read his book, and I think he was, just fabricated sources, especially, just making some Bengali words. And one thing I want to say is, we should have Pamela Goodman here, actually. But before 10th century, the inscription found in Arakan were all written in Sanskrit. So Sanskrit belonged to Indo-Aryan language. Bengali language also belongs to Indo-Aryan family. So there was some some words, Indo-Aryan words, found in this inscription. It's naturally, we cannot deny that, but we cannot say for these inscriptions, and since such inscriptions were found in Arakan, that's why they were Muslim. It's totally wrong. Oh, the Pamela Goodman was Pamela Goodman is a scholar, art historian from Australian National University, and she also wrote her dissertation on Wetali and Dinyawali, and she also wrote about the Buddhism and Buddhist art and architecture. It's purely Buddhist kingdom. It cannot be denied. This question is from Ashin Pandita, student of ABC. Okay. ABAC. I'm sorry. ABAC is a university. It is concerned with Bengali Kala by its name. I have never seen this river called, I never came across this term, Kaladan River, in the classical Arakanese literature. Have you ever found that? Of course. In which we Arakanese call Gispanadi. I think Kaladan is later. Later they call that maybe. I found also in the chronicles. I don't know whether the Kaladan derived from Pali word kula or mankind, but I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Actual classical name is Gispanadi. So another thing I can say is in 1722, I think, there was a rebellion, a revolt by the Mon people and some Muslims living in Akab Island. So they were defeated after passing the Uri town pagoda. And some people say it's, actually it's not, there's no historical source material, but some people say that the Arakanese army defeated these Muslims and Mons there. That's why Kalatek, or stopping the class advance. That's why it's called Kaladan. I don't know whether it's true or not. When did the word Rohingya was again? And who and how the word itself has been emerged? Please. I've already explained, the Rohingya was only invented in 1951 by Mr. Abdul Ghaffar, an MP from Budidam constituency. Actually, he took that name, Rohang or Roshan, which was the term of the Bengali term to call Arakan. So I've already mentioned that. And I think this is enough. In 1951, it was invented by Mr. Ghaffar. Michael Bhushana also wrote that the Bengali people call Arakan Roang or Rohang.
Okay.
And the Arakanese people, Rohanga or Rohanga.
Okay.
So that is not the name of the latecomers or illegal immigrants, Bengalis. Okay? And